Hello, welcome along on my journey in my Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. We want to let Honda of America know that I use the name Interceptor because more likely they're not watching this because nobody's really watching this. But anyway, the weather has not really been the best since my first video. I've had a few days of sun actually coming out. It was still cold in the 40s, but there was a little bit of radiant heat from the sun, and I did get some miles on it. I've kind of been wondering, when people tell you to stick it where the sun doesn't shine, I was wondering, do they mean the Pacific Northwest? Anyway, the sun came out for Valentine's Day. After the snow, we had some snow a little bit earlier in the morning, had melted away. I went out for a ride, and I got a new Akaso adventure camera that I attached to the bike because I wanted to go for a ride along the Columbia River. And I'd like to bring you along on that ride along the Columbia River. Unfortunately, the audio in this is not the best, so for those of you that don't want to listen to me ramble anymore, thanks for watching up to this point, but for those of you that don't mind, I'm going to be talking through that part of the video. So let's go for a ride. One of the things that I have to remember whenever I go out for a ride is that I'm probably the only one that's really going out for a ride and enjoying the journey, that there are so many people out there who are all about the destination. And that was something that I had here. So I wanted to show this clip that I just had. There was a dude that was right up my butt. So as soon as I found a place where I could pull over, I did. And you can see here, he was right on my butt. And there's another guy, and then there'll be one more person that's coming along, and then I just got back on the road. And it just makes things so much better when you just pull over for the aggressive drivers, because it just ruins your trip altogether. So we're coming up here to the part that I really wanted to show you guys on this trip, is just right along the river. It is so beautiful along the river. It is so peaceful. And this is what I wanted to share with you guys. I need to work on the camera angle so you can get a better view. So one of the things that I've done with the bike is a lot of people have replaced the rear shocks on their bikes. And so what I've been trying is I adjusted up the shocks one notch. They were on their softest setting because I want to see how the bike rides. So I was basically on highway, and the roads thankfully aren't too bad because I was kind of bottoming out on the softest setting. But I do find in town, because the roads are so horrendous, that it mostly just seems like I have to stand up on the pegs to avoid any imperfections in the road. But I will be, with each ride, adjusting up the shocks a notch to see how it affects the ride. I think one of the things that kind of throws people off who are looking at a Royal Enfield is all the specifications are in metric. And here in the States, when you say it has a 13.7 liter fuel tank, they just give you a quizzical look, and they're like, oh, I know what a 2-liter bottle of soda looks like. Or if you live in Texas, you know what a 3-liter bottle of soda looks like. So it's 3.6 gallons, which is about average for a bike of this size. And the other thing I think that throws people off is when you look at the fuel requirements, it's minimum 91 RON. And everyone's like, who's RON? Well, I'll translate it for you. It means that it runs on 87 octane, which I like that. It makes it easy to fill up, and it's inexpensive. That log truck that just passed, one of the things I really enjoy about riding is the positive smells. There's bad smells, but the positive smell. There was nothing but the smell of fresh cut pine that just filled my nose. It really added to the ride. So I'm coming up to the last part before I pulled over to move over the camera for a different view. I didn't have a lot of time sitting in the seat because I was pulling over to either change out the camera or to shut the camera on or off. So I still need to do a longer trip to see what that's about. But nobody does this kind of shot. So I wanted to give you guys this shot of what's behind me along the Columbia River. It was gorgeous. Cold, but gorgeous. So hopefully you weren't too bored by this, and you'll join me again for either one of my videos about working on a Studebaker or taking this Royal Enfield out for a ride. So I'd like to thank you for watching.